I want to show the effect of saliency between distractor and target on attention capture. The main content of sharing includes 4 parts: research background, method and materials, results and conclusions. This field recently used the visual research paradigm to study the attention capture of distractors and use the deflection angle to represent the salience between target and distractors. Their results show that distractors capture attention before the target. The misallocation of attention can delay the allocation of attention to the target, not only delay some post-attention process involved in response selection. Therefore, the purpose of this experiment is to explore whether the capture of attention is carried out according to the level of significance. Therefore, referring to previous studies, we adopt the deflection angle of blank and gray bars as the stimulus presentation mode. The deflection angle relative to the vertical median line was selected as the impedance variable. According to the research needs, 12 degrees and 45 degrees were used as the deviation angle to distinguish the significance of target and distractor, as shown in the figure. Each stimulus presented was composed of 6 bars around the central cross, and there were 10 cans of stimuli: distractor salience, target salience, and control group. There were 4 cans of relative positions of target and distractor. The target is on the midline and the distractor is on the side. The target is on the side and the distractor is on the midline. The target and the distractor are on the same side, and the target and the distractor are on the opposite side. The experiment was divided into 4 blocks, each containing 320 trials, and 800 to 1,200 milliseconds cross-gas was presented on a green screen, followed by a stimulus that makes the target and the distractor for up to 1,000 milliseconds. The task of the subject was judge whether the gray part in the target was up or down, and to respond to the stimulus as soon as possible. Pressing up on the green part or pressing down on the gray part. The subject enters the next trail immediately after pressing the button. The cross-gas appears in the center of the screen throughout, and we collected the response time, accuracy rate, and EEG signals. Then, as long as there is a distractor, reaction time was increased and accuracy was decreased. When the distractor was more salient, the change was significantly bigger. Then, in time domain analysis, there was a significant difference between occipital lobe N200 and parietal lobe P300. Specifically, when the distractors were significant, the larger N200 amplitude of the target directly captured the attention at the midline position, and the distractors had little effect on the target. When the distractors were in the midline position, the subjects noticed the distractors first, but since the task was not safely completed, they need to stop the misallocation of attention and transfer their attention to the target. When the target was more significant than the distractors, the brain needs to pay more attention, so the N200 range was larger. In the frequency domain analysis results, there are significant differences in the energy of alpha and beta bands of P3 and P4 channels. This indicates that the significance of distractor and target affect the attention capture of target. And when the distractor is significant, it has a greater influence on the attention capture of target. The salience of distractors affect on the attention capture of target significantly. When the distractors was more salient than that of the target, reaction time is prolonged and accuracy is decreased, and the subjects are more attracted by distractors. Further, EEG-ERP analysis showed that the amplitude of occipital N200 and parietal P300 increased when the target or distract was in midline, regardless of which was significant. No matter which position the interference was significant, there was significantly stronger power in multiple frequency bands of the parietal lobe. This result was related to the inhibitory process of selective attention shift interference. In contrary, when they were in contralateral situation, the attention was captured by more salient object first, then transferred to real target or suppress distractor. The process needs more top-down modulation, and the saliency between distractor and target plays an important role in attention capture, which might involve different processing mechanism and neural information interaction.